March felt like a month of real movement on this channel. Not always fast, not always clean, but definitely forward. Some series began, one major series came to an end, and a few games pushed me in directions I didn't fully expect. It feels like the shape of the season is starting to become a lot clearer. Before I get into the games, I want to start with the channel itself. At the start of March, this channel had 26 subscribers. At the time of recording, we're now at 30. That may still be small in the bigger picture, but it means a lot to me. So thank you for joining me here and helping build this community. I'm going to keep making the best content I can and keep learning as I go. On the game side, March gave us the beginning of S.T.A.L.K.E.R 2. Those opening episodes brought exactly the kind of pressure I hoped they would. Harsh terrain, low certainty, constant tension. Even early on, the tone was already there. Survival in that world does not ease you in. It just starts pressing on you immediately. And that made it a strong way to open this stretch of the season. March was also the month we finished Banishers, Ghosts of New Eden. That series carried a lot of emotional weight on the channel, so closing it out felt important. It had atmosphere, tension, that steady narrative pull that made each chapter feel like it mattered. Finishing it in the middle of March felt like closing one of the first major arcs of the year, and I'm glad to see it through properly. In between all of that, I played through Genesis Noir as an interlude. That game felt completely different from everything else on the channel. Quieter, stranger, more abstract. It wasn't really about mastery or pressure. It was more about style, rhythm, mood, and just letting the experience unfold. I like leaving room for games like that because they reset the pace and remind me that not every memorable experience has to come from combat or survival stress. March also marked the beginning of Citizen Sleeper. That one pulled me in fast. The world, the tone, the writing, and the feeling of surviving one cycle at a time, while slowly learning the shape of the station and the people around it. It grabbed me almost immediately. It feels like the kind of game that rewards patience and attention, and I'm really looking forward to sharing more of that series. And then there was Subterrain. Honestly, I just wasn't feeling that game the way I hoped I would. It was harder for me to connect with, harder to commit to, and progress felt slower than I wanted it to. But I persisted anyway, and I think that matters too. Not every series is going to click right away. Not every survival game is going to meet you halfway. Sometimes part of the process is staying with something long enough to understand what it's asking from you, even when the connection is not immediate. That honestly feels like a good way to describe March overall. It was a month of persistence, a month of transition, a month where the channel kept stretching across different tones and different kinds of games without losing its identity. We moved from haunted endings to radioactive pressure to cosmic surrealism to quiet science fiction to survival games that challenged my patience more than my instincts. And somehow it all still felt like it belonged together. Looking ahead, April has a lot I'm excited about. Against the Storm is taking over Survival Thursdays, and I'm genuinely excited to bring that series onto the channel. Feels like a very strong fit for that slot. Pressure, planning, adaptation, and the kind of decision making where choice has weight. I'm also excited for Nobody Wants to Die. So March has been a good month, not because every game landed the same way, and not because every episode felt easy, but because the channel kept moving forward. It finished where it started. It opened new doors. So thank you for being here. And April is looking strong. I'm SethOnDuty, signing off.